What's up? It's Paul Scheer with your ultimate Matrix Movie Trilogy Recap. That's right, people. I am here to tell you everything that you need to know before you see the brand new Matrix movie, Matrix 4 Recharged. No, it's not Recharged. It's Reloaded. Shit, that was the second one. Okay, no. Okay, Matrix 4 Resurrections. That's right. Okay, Matrix 4 Resurrections. We are all so excited to get back in the Matrix. But the thing about the Matrix that you have to remember, it's not all about karate. It's also about your brain. Okay, this movie challenges you on a philosophical level too. And I'm going to get into all that and more in just 5 minutes. So let's roll the tape. So what you need to know is that the Matrix takes place in a world where everyone knows karate, just like Daniel LaRusso in the end of Karate Kid. The Matrix is all about this guy, Keanu Reeves, and he has a hard drive in his head. Wait, no, that's Johnny Mnemonic. Okay, no. This is the one where he lives in a hard drive. And I don't know if there is a hard drive in someone's head. Maybe in this movie we'll find out if it was in someone's head the whole time, like that movie with Eddie Murphy where he was like a spaceship called Meet Dave, and there was like a little Eddie Murphy in the big Eddie Murphy. So maybe it's like that. I don't know. No spoilers. Anyway, he's like, goes in the Matrix, and he meets this guy who gives him 2 NyQuils, a daytime and a nighttime NyQuil. He takes a nighttime NyQuil, but guess what happens? He wakes up instead of going to sleep. Now that's crazy, right? So he's like, I thought I was going to sleep. I thought I took a nighttime NyQuil. I was like, no. You're waking up for the first time. This NyQuil is about the allergy of the mind. And he finds out that everything that he's lived through is actually in a computer. So he's like a real life sim. So he's like, oh my God, that's so cool. So he's excited about that. And he learns that the world is full of destruction. And this guy is telling him all this, but he can't even listen to it because he's like, how do your glasses stay on? You don't even have like handles on your glasses. And Morpheus is like, don't worry about that. We have bigger things to do. And so they see a woman in a red dress. Don't pay any attention to her because she doesn't really matter. And everyone's like, okay, we got to all wear black now. He's like, why do we wear black? Because it's slimming? And he's like, no, it's not slimming. It's just like we're in the city and people in the city wears black because it's like, I feel like it's a way to be cool, but also it doesn't make you stand out, but at the same time, it makes you fit in. That's interesting, right? So they all decide we're going to wear black because it's slimming because, we all know that Joey Pants may have put on a couple pounds and we don't want to get into that. So anyway, not Matrix. His name is not Matrix. His name is Neo, which if you flip around the letters is Eno. Brian Eno, the originator of the Batman theme, Anyway, you do the math. He calls up a hotline that has Rage Against the Machine. It's on there all the time. He's like, all right, what's up? And he's like, play me some Rage Against the Machine. I got to fly. He flies out, and then he meets Nairobi, and she's awesome. She's like really cool, but we really don't focus on her because she's more about the video game. And the video game is awesome. I love the video game. But I beat it on the easy level. Does that even count? I don't know. Anyway, this guy, luckily for the Wachowskis, he has like a lot of brothers, I guess, because there's like multiples of them. So I guess it's like a lot of twins. He meets this woman again, and he was like, look, I'm freaked out because in the first movie, I was hanging out with this guy, Tank. And then in this movie, I wake up and there's this guy, Link, there, but it seems like he's Tank, but no one's commenting on it. And she's like, just you wait until the third movie, because I'm not going to look the same either. And it's like, why are there so many contract negotiations on this? It's like, you're a side character. You don't need to get that much money. And then she goes, well, look, honestly, we should be profiting, and it's more of like a capitalist system. And, anyway, they get into all this sort of stuff. Then they meet these guys, the Rasta vampires, which was the title of my first spec script in Hollywood that no one made. They said it was too derivative of this. I would like to see this. Then he meets this guy who has a bunch of TV screens, and he's like, Neo's like, hey, look, I just tell you something. Like in my world, you could get like a big TV and you could see more because it's sort of like, it seems like it's all playing the same thing in the background. Neo doesn't want to watch TV, like, because it's like, I have a million channels and nothing's on. And this guy's like, look, dude, it's all happened before. I've already seen this movie. But then he's making me feel guilty because it's like, well, wait, in the middle of the movie, you're telling me you've seen the movie? It's like that moment in Spaceballs when they pull like the Spaceballs, the movie from the video store, and they watch the movie of Spaceballs to help solve the issue in Spaceballs. But it's not as funny as the Spaceballs scene, but it is like, it's a smart scene because it's like, well, he who has the most TVs has the most control. Anyway, he's flying again, just like Superman. You gotta catch someone. Everyone's got to get caught. We see it in Spider-Man. We see it everywhere. You got a Superman. Everyone's catching people. And then he's able to take down a Sentinel. Sentinel, if we're on the Spider-Man track, is essentially just Doc Ock, and Doc Ock is like, but in this world, the Doc Ocks are chasing the Spider-Men, which are Matrix people. Is that what they call them? Matrix people? I don't think they would call them. So, anyway, this guy tried to kill Keanu. Anyway, now they're back, and you think nothing has changed, but a lot has changed because the Oracle is completely different. He wakes up in a subway station. You never want to lay down in a subway station. Take it from me. I learned the hard way. She's like, whoa, you're different. He's like, aren't you used to it now? Again, I prepared you for it. But, smoking's not good. Guns are not good. But that's why these movies are popular, I guess. And then Mr. Smith and all of his brothers come in. And it's a fun scene because, what you learn is like, if he would have stuck and had a cookie, maybe he would have been different. So anyway, they're down in like, it's kind of like that scene in Empire Strikes Back when they are walking around like, oh, it smells weird in here. And then they find out they're actually like in a creature's belly. Like most of the movie is in the creature's belly. And a lot of people gave Rian Johnson the grief about that like long spaceship chase. But like these two movies are all about like the Sentinels coming. It's like how many, 24 hours? This all takes place in 24 hours. Anyway, there's a kaiju shit going on. And the rave was pretty awesome. I think in this movie, Neo puts on the eye bands and he's like, I'm going to be like Luke now. I don't see anything. Or no, not like Luke, like the guy in Rebels. Right? And then they fight in the rain, which I think was more of a computer thing because it's sort of like it makes the CGI look better in the rain. But it was also, you realize the infrastructure of the city, even though it's in the Matrix, is kind of poor because there's so many puddles. I mean, there's so much potholes there. Anyway, Eno gets in there. He fixes all the stuff. A cat comes back. Everyone high fives. They never go back to the train man. I didn't talk about the train man, who's pretty great. And they're like, hey, we're free. Let's go dance again. And then the creator and, the Oracle are like, damn, shit. Creator and the Oracle high five, and she's like, shit, that's all she wrote. And then, like a little Warner Brothers thing pops up, and it's like, that's all, Doc. Which is kind of a weird ending, because it's like, oh, I didn't know Porky Pig was in the Matrix. I didn't even know they had Porky Pig in the Matrix. But I guess if they had Karate Kid, they would have Porky Pig. Anyway, that's all you need to know. Make sure you play the video game. Beat the video game before you see Matrix Rebirth. And then, that's all I can say right now. But if I'm going to guess about some spoilers, I'm going to guess there are some substantial recastings. One thing that we know about the Matrix is everyone changes the actors that play them. That make a very confusing premise even a little bit more confusing. Because you're like, wait a second, you swap bodies? Is that a thing? Or is that just a thing because you couldn't afford the person to come back? Anyway, I don't know. That's all for my movie recap. I hope you are prepared for The Matrix Rebirth. Recollections, Recollections, Repo Man.